Hi everybody, and welcome to another family game night. The family that games together stays together. In this episode we are going to play Predation, a Cypher system game by Shauna Germain and Monty Cook Games. Tonight the kids are going to take on the role of someone else. Sterfry, do you want to introduce your character?
My character's name is Greg. He's a volcanic pteryx who self-evolves, and his companion's name is David. He's a dimorphodon, and he's intimidating. And my weapon is a laser crossbow.
Excellent. And Miss Pic, who are you playing?
So it's Bambi. She's a mysterious Osteon who self-evolves.
She self-evolves?
No.
Oh, solves mysteries. Sorry. Her companion is Tiki. She's a clever T-Rex.
And what weapon does Bambi use?
A staff.
Like a bow staff or a stick?
No,
A stick.
it says a staff.
It's
Like
a light weapon.
staff.
Oh, so it's a light weapon?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, tonight we're going to take these characters for a spin. Now, one of the rules in Predation is that you don't control your dinosaur companion. The other person controls, so go ahead and swap companions. And anytime you want to ask your dinosaur to do something, you're going to have to make a roll to see if the dinosaur will obey. And right now, because you're tier 1, it's a goal 3 to try and get the dinosaur to obey. And you can use effort to lower that if you need to. But if you roll and he does obey, then the dinosaur will try to do what you ask him to do. But if she doesn't obey, then she'll kind of do whatever, and the other person will control that dinosaur and do it to the best of their ability. So you guys have played No Thank You Evil. This is the regular Cypher system, so it's very similar to No Thank You Evil. You're going to have a goal number that you have to beat, and you can lower that number by, in No Thank You Evil, it's trying harder, but here it's going to be using effort. And to use effort will require 3 points from one of your pools, depending on if it's a might, a speed, or an intellect effort. If you have an edge, that will reduce that effort by that many points. So if you have a speed edge of 1, if you're using speed points, it will reduce them by 1 point. You can also use skills to lower that. You guys are trained in some skills. You can also use assets like tools, things like that. You also have some ciphers that might help you. You've also, you can help each other do certain tasks to help to lower that number as well. So, we are going to do the adventure. It's actually the adventure before the adventure that's in the book. This is just to kind of help you guys kind of have a test drive through the Cypher system rules and Predation and see how it plays. So this is the prequel to the published adventure, which we hope to run again soon, but this will give us an idea of how the Cypher system works. And there may be some rules explanations along the way, both to help you guys learn and those who are watching at home. Do you guys have any questions before we start?
No.
Okay. So you guys live in the land of Grevik, and Grevik is in the Cretaceous period, which was about 65 million years ago. And an organization called SATI, Space and Time Interglobal, started to send people back in time. Now they started to do this from our time, maybe a few hundred years in the future, they started to send people backwards in time. But after like 9 or 10 years, they stopped sending people. Time travel stopped working. And the people that were there in the Cretaceous were stuck. And it's been about 120 years since that happened, since time travel stopped. And you guys are like the grandchildren of the people that first time traveled. And so you've never known the future. You've only ever known living in the Cretaceous period. But it's a different Cretaceous period because humans have changed it. And we've brought back some technologies. We've probably done some experiments with dinosaurs and maybe even made new sorts of dinosaurs. And there's probably dinosaurs that we haven't discovered the fossils yet that were alive back then. And that's kind of what we're going to play. So you guys have some different technologies. Miss Pic, you just have a staff to club people with, but Sterfry has a laser crossbow, which is should be pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You guys were born and raised in a city called Bonehaven. And the most popular thing in Bonehaven, or the thing that people know about Bonehaven, is dinosaur wrestling. There's a big arena, and dinosaurs will wrestle. It's like a sport. People will place bets on dinosaurs. It's a big thing. People come from all over around the land to do this dinosaur wrestling. And you're really good friends with some of the people that run the dinosaur wrestling. Now, you've never entered your companion dinosaurs to wrestle yet, but you know several of the people that are breeders or that have stables full of dinosaurs that come for the wrestling. Now, the one of the people in charge of the dinosaur wrestling, her name's Arturus, and Arturus comes to you one morning and says, Greg and Bambi, we need your help. Can you help me?
Yes. Sure.
Great. Do you want to ask her?
What do you need help with?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Well, you see, we've got our first big tournament of the year coming up in 3 days. It's one of the biggest tournaments. People come from all over the land to come here. But we're missing someone. He was supposed to be here yesterday, and he's not arrived. And his name is Marcus. And Marcus always comes in along the chalk road, this 500-mile road that cuts across the land. He was supposed to come in from westward on the chalk road, and he's not shown up. Can you go look for him and see if he's having trouble, or see if you've heard word about what might have happened to Marcus? Because we really need his dinos. He brings some of the best wrestling stock that we have ever had.
Okay.
Okay.
I would be very appreciative. You would have my thanks if you did this.
And some money.
What was that you say?
Nothing.
No, did you want some money?
No. Sorry, I'm just mumbling.
Mumbling.
Mumbling? Mumbling? I think
Yes.
that's what you said. That's okay. She says, well, of course I would. I suppose I could pay you for your time. What if I gave you free admission this whole season to the dinosaur wrestling if you were to help me find Marcos?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So now, as an aside, you guys maybe could have tried to bargain with her, maybe get a little money, like some. There's a special kind of treat, it's probably like not cotton candy, but maybe there's some like concessions at the dinosaur wrestling, like lizard on a stick or things like that. You could have maybe negotiated some, but that's okay. You're doing it out of the goodness of your hearts, and also because you're going to get free admission for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, what are you going to do?
We're gonna go to the chalk road.
Well, the chalk road is just the big road right outside of town.
Well, David can fly, so I want to ask David if he can go overhead and look.
Okay.
Or
So,
I could ask him.
well, so Sterfry controls David, but you'll do the action. So Sterfry, if you're going to interact with your dino, that's a goal 3 intellect.
With a 6-sided?
No, so in No Thank You Evil, we roll a 6-sided, and that means you would have to roll a 3. But in the
wait,
Cypher
wait.
system, a goal 3, you multiply by 3, so you're going to have to roll a 9 or higher. And we talked about ways that you can reduce that from a 3 to a 2. What's something you could do? And you don't have to, but you could.
I could use my skills.
So do you have any skills that involve like dinosaur handling?
No. I could use my might, speed, and intellect.
Yeah, you could spend effort if you wanted to. You could spend intellect points to try and interact better with David.
Oh man, that's my lowest one. I'll spend a point though.
Okay, well it's 3 points.
I know.
Do you have edge?
No, 0 edge.
Okay, so you'll reduce your intellect by 3.
Okay, so I'm at 9. Oh wait, yeah. Wait, no 8. Sorry.
So now you're going to roll the 20-sided die, and you're going to have to get for a goal 2 a 6 or higher. What did you get?
A 1.
Okay, so when you roll a 1, something terrible happens.
Out of all the numbers.
It's not always terrible. It's called a GM intrusion, a game master intrusion. So basically what I do is I just make the situation a little bit more difficult. Now I can do this at any time during the game, and I actually will give you 2 experience points if I just do it on my own decision, and you get to keep 1 and give 1 to someone else, so probably to Miss Pic. But in this case, since you rolled a 1, you don't get the experience points, you just get the intrusion. So in this case, for the intrusion, you actually kind of look over at David and say, hey David, go do this for me, and he gets startled and he like flies up into the air. So Miss Pic, what do you think David's going to do when he is up in the air?
I think she's gonna maybe like fall down or something.
You think he's going to fall down? Or do you think he's going to like fly up to like a tree and roost in the tree or something? What do you think?
Maybe.
Or do you think he flies a little bit and then falls down to the ground?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, I hope he doesn't take any damage. I'll say that he flies up a little bit and then he kind of forgets to flap because he was so startled, and he faints in midair and he falls down. But thankfully he lands on a big pile of dried grass that they have there for the dinosaur wrestling. And so he doesn't take any damage, but he's a little dazed. In fact, you might have to carry him for the next few minutes till he regains his strength.
I already have to carry him, so.
Yeah. So you pick him up. It's like, oh, good boy, good boy. And
I flop him on soldier. Or flop him on my soldier.
on
Why can I not say anything?
your shoulder.
Yes. I can't say anything.
That's okay. So you throw him on a soldier, and then, your shoulder. And so that was a great idea, but unfortunately the dice weren't on your side that time. So Miss Pic, what are you thinking of doing?
I think we should just go on the chalk.
Head out to the chalk road. Now Arturus just hasn't seen Marcos. He could be here and just no one has seen him. So maybe you want to ask around, or you can just head right out to the chalk road if you want. It's up to you.
We should probably ask the people around.
Okay, so you see quite a few other people that have come in with their dinos. They've got great big wagons. A lot of the dinos are small and they're in cages, and then there's some that are larger, and a lot of the wagons are pulled by like Ankylosaurus or Triceratops, big burly animals that can pull the heavy wagon. So you see several people. You want to just go up and start asking around?
Well, I don't want to do that. I personally want to go, is there a spot where, all the people who, battle their dinos meet?
Yeah, so right now they're all kind of around the backside of the arena. There is, a big covered, a stable area where the people will take their dinos, and they've got little pens they can put them in and feed them and bathe them. Some of them get painted so they look really cool for the dino wrestling.
Did I do a description of Marcus?
You didn't, but you could go back to Arturus and ask for one.
Yeah. I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Pic's asking around.
So Miss Pic is trained in a lot of social interaction because you're an Osteon. You're a really good speaker. So make sure that you look at your skills, because that'll probably let you have an easier time of that. And so you're going to go ask around to some of the people that have already arrived. And Sterfry, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go find Arturus and ask about, what does he look like? Is she kind of by where the tent is?
She's kind of going back and forth trying to make sure everything's ready. It takes you just a few minutes to find her, but you find her pretty quickly, and she comes up and says, "Oh, do you have news? You've found him already?"
I'm just going to ask for a description.
Oh, sure. Well, he's kind of older. In fact, he's balding a little bit on top, and he always wears this kind of leather hat, and it has a special lens that comes over one eye. So it hangs down over his face, and there's a special lens that comes over one eye that grants him some sort of enhanced vision. I don't know whether it's some sort of night vision or what it is. It's very possible. So, but you'll know him. You can't miss him because he's got this special kind of a hood or a hat that he wears that hangs down over one eye, and it has a glass lens in it.
Okay. Well, I'll go look in the tent while Miss Pic is asking people.
All right. So Miss Pic, you see a lot of people in front of you, and you go up to someone, and what do you ask?
I asked, have you seen a guy named Marcus?
Named Marcus? It's going to be a bit of an interaction because they're kind of busy. They're busy getting their stuff ready. So I'm going to say it's a goal 2 to try and get that information. Is there any way you can reduce that goal? So remember, you can use skills or assets, or you can spend effort.
So what's the goal again?
It's a goal 2. So that means you'd have to roll a 6 or higher on the 20-sided die.
You got this.
6 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Except I rolled a 1, of course.
Oh, a 7. So that was awfully close.
Lucky.
So the woman lets out a sigh and says, "Marcus? Oh, yeah. I saw him about 2 weeks ago. We were all heading over from one of the other towns, and he was on his way. Is he not here?"
Well,
We don't know.
I don't know.
He usually sets up over at the south end of the pens. Why don't you go check over there at the south end and see if he's there?
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
So then I go to the south end.
Okay, and at the south end, there's lots of people filling up locations, and then you see several empty pens at the very south end, and there's nobody there.
Well.
So it looks like maybe Marcus, that's his spot, but he's not there. And none of his dinos are there.
So we know for sure that he's not there.
Yeah.
Well.
I think we should go on the chalk road.
Okay.
What do you think, Sterfry?
We can go on the chalk road. Is David awake yet?
Yeah, he's probably awake by now.
I'm gonna pet him, tap him, and give him a treat or something.
Okay, well, he definitely appreciates that. He was so startled when you hollowed out his name right in his ear that he was a little timid after that. But I think he's feeling okay now. So you head out towards the chalk road, and it's about morning time, and just a few minutes walk from town, the chalk road plunges into a pretty dense, thick jungle, and we're going to play some music. You hear the flies and the insects and
An Argentavis.
yep, some sort of dino in the background. As you're walking down the chalk road, listening to all these sounds, the hot sun beating on your head, it's really humid and warm, and the chalk road goes on for hundreds of miles. And you walk for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and you notice the chalk road is mostly kind of white chalk and maybe some yellow and gray chalk, but you notice a large patch where there's some strange scuff marks and stuff in the chalk, and there's a large brown, almost like a puddle. That's probably your T-Rex when he sees the puddle.
That doesn't sound good.
It's probably where some dinos needed to let out some stuff.
Need to do their business?
It could be.
Yeah.
Well,
Or it's just a puddle of mud.
Well, do you want to examine it?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be a goal 2 intellect
So 6
test.
or 9.
Yeah. Oh, do you have anything that you could reduce that by?
No.
Either a tool or some equipment or a skill?
well, you could ask Tiki to check it out because he might have a good smell.
Yeah? Do you want to ask
Yeah, sure.
ask your dino?
Plus, I want to control him.
Okay.
Hello, Tiki. Can you examine that mud puddle?
Okay, so that's going to be a goal 3 interaction. You can try and lower that. You hear a bellow in the background, far, far away. You can try and lower that from a 3 to a 2. Otherwise, you're going to have to roll a 9 or higher. So do you want to try and lower that? Or do you want to roll? You could use intellect points to try and lower that.
I have 14 pool and 1 edge.
And the edge of 1. So you would spend 3, but then you get 1 back because of the edge. So it only costs you 2. So you would go from 14 to 12.
Okay.
That sounds like a raptor.
And in the big square, no, don't erase the 14 because you want to always remember that that's your maximum. In the big square, write a 12.
Oh,
There you go. Okay, so now you have to roll a 6 or higher.
okay. Oh, that one.
Okay. Oh, why are you so
Oh,
lucky?
13. Okay, so what do you tell Tiki?
So I tell him to examine that mud if he can.
All right, Sterfry, what does Tiki do?
He goes over to the mud and sniffs at it. He can tell what it is, but he can't tell you what it is because he's a dinosaur and he can't talk.
So Tiki does know what it is, and he growls and looks around kind of nervously. In fact, he paws at the ground a little bit and lets out a little roar. He seems a little agitated.
So it's bad, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's probably not like water or something. It made him kind of like put him in sort of fight mode. So what do you think it could be?
I think there's like some like wild dinosaur.
Maybe it's dino doo-doo.
Well, I don't think it's doo-doo. In fact, Tiki's pretty sure that it's blood that's mixed in with the chalk.
Okay, yeah, now I'm kind of freaked out.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna say, David, I choose you. And I'm gonna ask him if he can go and look around and see if he sees anything, like dead bodies.
Okay, so that's going to be another interaction roll. It's a goal 3. Can you lower that at all?
No, I'm just gonna try and roll for 9.
Okay, 9 or higher.
Oh boy. Well, you got 13, so maybe
So
I
yeah,
should
I think you can do it.
20.
Oh, a 20. So not only does that work, but that works exceptionally well. Now, if you had spent points on that, you would actually get those points back. So if you'd spent 3 intellect, because you rolled a 20, you get your points back. But this is what... So I'm going to say for the major effect that not only does David agree to help you, but he's going to have some extra bonuses when he's doing his search. So you tell him, what exactly do you tell David?
I say go sniff for, or go see if you can find a human or dinosaur body.
Okay, so Miss Pic, you get to control David, so what does David do?
So he goes and sniffs around, and...
Does he take to the air or just walk on the ground?
I think he just walks on the ground.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he would probably fly. He's a flying dino.
Okay, then he sniffs around, then he takes flight and looks down at the trees and everything.
So he starts to kind of do circles around, and pretty quick, off to your left, you hear a squawk, and it's David, and he's squawking and does a little tight circle about maybe 50 yards off to the left into the jungle. So I think he maybe found something.
Well, tell your T-Rex to go stomp over the trees. So
No, it's just a little T-Rex. It's not a full-grown T-Rex.
Oh, it's a baby?
Yeah. It's maybe about 3 or 4 feet tall and maybe 6 feet long.
That's
tiny.
For a T-Rex, that's tiny, but he's still got sharp teeth.
That's like a newborn T-Rex.
Yeah. He's like a young T-Rex.
So I tell David to come down, and then we go into the jungle.
Will you tell David to come down?
I tell David to come
So,
down.
and I'll say because you rolled a 20, you signal him, and he swoops right down and lands on your shoulder, and he's kind of stepping a little bit excitedly, like he saw something and wants you to see it. In fact, his eyes are fixed on that direction.
Maybe he's hungry, and he thinks we're gonna
He saw
die.
a taco stand or something.
Maybe he thinks we're gonna die, and he's gonna say free food.
Oh, he'll eat your body when you're dead.
Yes.
I'm not sure your friend would do that.
Maybe.
And then I guess we go into the jungle.
Okay, so you start pushing in through the jungle, and after just a few feet, it gets really thick, and there's vines everywhere and grasses, a lot of bugs. Some of the mosquitoes are the size of like our grasshoppers.
Oh my
Great big giant mosquitoes.
gosh.
And these mosquitoes are getting closer and swarming around you, and it's hot and buzzing. And that being said, I'm going to give Miss Pic 2 experience points, which means what? It's a GM intrusion. So you have to give one of those to somebody else. It'll have to be Sterling. Perfect. And now, something awful is going to happen to you.
What?
Now, if you had already in your possession an experience point, you could give it to me and say, no thanks. And then you wouldn't have this intrusion. But since you didn't, now this is a way you can get one. So experience points, you can use them in several ways. You can always give me one in order to re-roll a dice. So like when Sterfry rolled his 1, he could have given me an experience point and said, I want to re-roll that. And he could have re-rolled the dice. You also will use them to basically level up. And it takes 4 experience points to level up. There's 4 areas that have to level up. So really 16 experience points to go from a tier 1 to a tier 2. But you can save your experience points, or you can use them throughout the game to re-roll or to decline a GM intrusion. But you're going to have a GM intrusion. So as you're walking through the jungle, now who's going in the lead? Is it David or?
Probably Bambi and
Greg.
I would think it would be Greg, because Greg is more the explorer. You're the Terex.
Okay, well, then I'm gonna sneak around because they have a pretty high, like, sneaky store,
And
like
then I
stealth.
fall down a hole.
No, so as you're sneaking, there's a vine, and you push it aside with your left hand, kind of put it behind you, expecting that Bambi will also move the vine aside, but she doesn't grab it, it drops, and the vine starts to slither around her neck. It is attacking you, this vine is. It's pretty slow, and then you see a huge flowering head come down, and it's like a carnivorous plant, and it's going to come down and try to eat you. It's curious to see what you are. So you got this vine around your neck right now. What do you do?
Oh,
I kick Sterling.
hey!
Why do you kick him?
Kick Sterfry. Like, come help me, man.
Okay, so you try and get his attention. So Greg turns around and sees you kind of wrapped up, and you're fighting this vine and this big flower, and now you can see like some sort of liquid dripping out of the flower, whether it's some sort of acid or digestive juice, you don't know, but it's getting closer and closer.
Well, I'm gonna say, well, she was a pretty good companion. No. No. Well, I do have like a knife or something.
Oh, probably. You do have your laser crossbow.
Yeah, but that's gonna laser somebody.
Did you have a knife in your equipment? You got an adventurer's pack.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's got like a little blade in it.
Okay, then I want to go over and try to like slice the vine off of her neck.
Okay, that's going to be a speed roll. It'll be a speed 2 to try and get that sliced off before the
I
big...
have an edge.
So if you want to spend points, it'll cost 3, but then you get 1 back with the edge.
So I have to roll 6, right?
Yes.
18.
18. So at 18, that's also a bonus roll. So with an 18, you do an additional 2 points of damage. So that was really good. And your knife does 2 points plus an additional 2 points. So you're able to actually cut right through the vine. And the vine falls away and from Miss Pic's neck. But the big flowering thing is still coming down and it's getting ready to attack you. So you're going to have to make a speed defense, and it's going to be a goal 3.
Goal 3.
You want to try and lower that at all?
You got this, Miss Pic.
Goal 3. What do I have to get?
A 9.
Yep, it'd be a 9.
Okay, please.
Oh, a 7.
Okay, so you can spend your experience point to re-roll.
Okay.
So you'll give that back to me.
And it's a 1. My luck.
So it probably would have been good to spend some effort, but instead you chose just to roll, so let's see.
15.
Oh, there you go, 15. So, because you used that experience point, you were able, barely to get away, and the big flowering plant comes down, and you jump out of the way just in time. That was close. So you continue on through the jungle, and you begin to smell kind of a boggy, swampy smell. You can hear the bugs getting thicker and thicker. And you keep pushing through the jungle, and pretty soon you come upon a little swampy area. The swamp, you can hear some growling. In fact, in the swamp, about right in the middle, you see this huge triceratops, and it's on its side, submerged in the water. There's claw marks and bite marks in it, and big pieces of flesh have been taken out of it. Looks like it died just in the last day or so. It looks like it was also wearing some sort of harness, like it was maybe pulling the wagon. And you see bits and pieces of the wagon and cages, some in the swamp, some on the outside of the swamp, and many of the cages have burst open or been torn
I
open.
think that might have been Marcos.
I think it might have been Marcos's wagon.
Oh, Sarkos. Or Bezo Buffos.
What?
Bebo, it's just from Arc Dinos.
Oh, okay. So what are we gonna do?
Well, I'm not gonna go in the swamp because I'm
Okay.
probably gonna get eaten. I'm gonna look, I'm gonna tell David to use his bird's eye view to kind of look around the wagon or like in the premises to see if he sees any dead humans.
Okay, so that's gonna be a goal 3 intellect to interact with David. You're gonna try and lower it. Okay, so it's a 9 or higher.
20.
20.
Again.
So again, that is a major effect. So Miss Pic, David is going to obey that command, and I'm going to give him a extra bonus to try and find something. So what does David do? He just got the command to fly up and look for a human.
So he flies up and he kind of looks around.
Okay, and there's several tall swamp trees, kind of mangrovey trees around there, with huge like fern fronds coming off. They're trees that you've in the future, like in our time, they would never have seen, but they were pretty prevalent in your time. And he kind of circles around up at the top at one, and you see a human hand reach out and kind of swat at it a little bit.
And I'm gonna be like, David, if there's anything dangerous, you can attack it.
I need to go over. Actually, is he close to us?
Well, he's probably 30 feet up in a tree, and the tree is on the other side of the swamp.
Well, I'm gonna try and shout. It's you, Marcus. We were sent to look for you.
So you shout that out. You hear a voice saying, "Shh, quiet, quiet. They're nearby. They'll hear you. Be careful."
Who? Dinosaurs?
And just about then, you hear some rustling noises in the leaves and
Raptors.
branches next to you. And 3 Argo raptors.
Are they little or big?
Well, these are new types of dinosaurs, new because of predation. So, named after Argos, Odysseus' faithful dog, Argo raptors are known for their speed, strength, and tracking skills. These are one of the more successful outcomes of SATI's early selective breeding program, created to be smart, loyal companions. They prefer to work in packs with other Argos. So they're either called Argos or some people call them A-Raptors. And they definitely, you know that they hunt in packs, and they're kind of tough. You know that they can be a challenge, especially if you're in their terrain. But you can hear some noise coming. In fact, there's some rustling coming to your left and some rustling coming to your right.
Miss Pic has a stick.
Yep. All right, what are we
Have
gonna
good luck
do?
with your stick. I'm gonna sprint for a tree to like try and get up in it because I have a ranged weapon.
Okay, so that's going to be a speed check to try and get up that tree.
I'm gonna use it.
It's going to be a
And I have
goal,
an edge.
a goal of 3. Okay, so it'll cost you 2.
Okay.
2 speed.
So now I have 11.
Oh, what did you have?
13.
13. Yeah, so you'll have 11.
Wait, but I have edge,
So normally it would cost 3,
but it only costs 2.
so it only costs
Yeah,
2.
so
So you'd be 11. And now it's a goal 2 for you to hustle up to that tree.
So 6. So
Yep.
we're gonna roll.
That's right.
18.
18.
Man,
Excellent.
I'm having good
So
rolls.
yeah, you're getting good rolls now. So you hustle over and you find a tree and you begin to climb. And Miss Pic, what do? You have a slight problem.
Yeah, because I have a stick.
No, you have Tiki that can't climb a tree.
Oh boy.
David can fly, so
Yeah.
I'm fine. You better protect Tiki.
Could I fit him in a sack?
No, Tiki's pretty heavy. He's probably 150 pounds.
Is he bigger than the Argo Raptors?
He's probably about the same size.
Okay.
I wonder if he can use his dinosaur language to tell them, we are not gonna hurt you.
Is that what you want to try to have him
But
do?
they're different dinosaurs, so
Yeah.
they probably couldn't communicate.
Well, I don't know then.
Well, I'm personally gonna pull out my crossbow.
Pretty quick, off to your side, about maybe 20 yards away, you see a pair of eyes looking at you through the brush and through the leaves. And it's looking at you, and it looks like it's hungry.
Well, what do you do, Miss Pic?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know if Tiki can't climb a tree.
Well, you want to have Tiki try and defend you?
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna have to hold him off down here while Greg blasts him with his crossbow.
Yeah.
Or you want to try and get into the swamp? Maybe you can get onto that body of that dead Triceratops.
That's not a good idea.
I don't know. You got a lot of choices.
I'm just gonna hold them off while Greg shoots them.
Better hope Greg's a good shot. So, what you gonna ask David to do anything?
I'm gonna say, David, back Tiki and Bambi up.
Well, she has to command David.
Well, I know, but I have to
Or
ask.
oh no, sorry, yeah. So you're gonna ask Tiki to help to defend Bambi. Sorry, I'm getting your dinos confused. You're gonna ask David to help to protect Bambi,
To help protect and Tiki.
and you're gonna ask Tiki to help to protect you. So you both have a goal 3 intellect interaction roll.
Okay.
You want to try and lower yours? Just pick. So because you have edge and intellect, it'll only cost you 2. So you'll go from 12 to 10. So you need to roll a 6. You need to roll a 9. What did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 9.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Oh,
That's what you
I
need.
thought that was a 6. I was like,
No, that's a 9. So Miss Pic needs to roll a 6 or higher.
5.
5. Oh, so close. So David is going to obey. What does David do?
What was he gonna do?
It's gonna just go help back you up.
Oh yeah, then he's gonna Yeah, I guess he's gonna try to.
I'm also gonna say if you get two damage, just come fly up with me.
So maybe he'll just kind of swoop around you, ready to protect you.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you ask Tiki to help, and you just fail. So what's Tiki gonna do? He doesn't quite understand
He's
that
gonna
command.
look at her confused.
Okay. Does he like run away?
No, he's gonna like snuggle up against her. Like,
Yeah.
what
So
do I
maybe
do?
he's a little nervous. So he comes and kind of hides behind you, and his tail's sort of swishing, and he's burying his head up against your leg. So he's a little afraid and didn't want to charge in there and start attacking that Argo
If
Raptor.
he was a normal sized T-Rex, he could have killed them and stomped
Yeah.
on them.
But he's not been taking his vitamins. So.
What? He need to get him some vitamins.
All right. So, Miss Pic, the Argo Raptor on your left comes into the brush, and one comes behind it. So there's two Argo Raptors there, and they start hissing, ready to attack. Now, have you got ciphers or anything that you can use that will help you? If not, you can just go up and smash one with your stick.
Gifted healing.
So that helps you to heal a dino, like if David gets hurt really bad, or Tiki.
Miss Pic, I have Cypher. It's a growth hormone. It causes a non-human to grow to full size. I could give it to Tiki, and he'd be a full-size T-Rex.
Okay.
You sure can.
Do you want me to?
Sure.
Okay.
I think you have to touch him
Oh, well, I'll do this after the battle.
after everybody's dead.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, here you go.
I
Yeah.
think you should just climb down.
No, I like it in this tree. It's
All right,
comfy.
so we're going to roll initiative. Okay, so you need to roll a 9 or higher to beat the dinosaur, the Argosaurus, Argoraptor's initiative.
9 or higher.
9 or higher.
5.
A 5. So the Argoraptor will go first. And then,
14.
so actually,
I go, then the Argo.
Greg will go first, then the bad guys, and then Miss Pic. So, okay, and on your turn, you will control Tiki as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. So, which one is closer to Miss Pic? The left or the one? The
Well,
one on the
there's
left?
2 on the left. The ones on the right haven't come out yet.
Oh, well, I'm gonna start shooting at the ones on the left. Like,
Okay, you're going to take a shot? All right. So it's going to be a goal 3 speed with your laser
I
crossbow.
use a point, but I have edge, so.
Okay, so it only costs 2.
I'm at 9.
So it's a goal 2. So you need to roll a 6 or higher.
12.
12. So you blast him. And how much damage does your laser crossbow do?
4.
4 damage. And they have 1 armor, so he takes 3 points of damage. So it blasts him. Where does it hit him?
In the head.
Right in the head. And blasts a nice little burnt hole on the top of his head, and he doesn't like that at all. So,
How much hit points do they have?
well, you don't know. You've never fought one before. Uh-oh, you hear a loud bellow. Maybe that was Tiki. Okay, so you also control Tiki, so what does Tiki do?
Well, Tiki's gonna get some encouragement because he's a T-Rex and he has toughness, and he's gonna start to like show like strength and stuff to the raptors and like intimidate them.
Okay. So is he going to attack one?
No, I think he would just like get big and try to defend.
Okay, so that's going to give you a bonus, Miss Pic, on your defense roll if one comes and attacks you. So Tiki's kind of protecting you. So now it's their turn. So one is going to run up and try to attack Bambi. So you need to make a speed defense roll. It's going to be normally it would be a 3, but it's going to be a 2 because of Tiki. So you need to roll a 6 or higher.
6 or higher. I'm probably gonna get a 5 again.
8.
8. Good thing that Tiki was helping you. So you kind of duck out of the way just as a huge sickle claw swipes the air right where you were. Now the other one is going to try to circle around behind you. So he's moving kind of through the bushes to get behind you. But he doesn't attack this round. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you want to bash that one with your stick?
Sure.
Okay, so it's a goal 3 speed.
3.
Yeah.
So literally.
9.
You could take a point though,
If you want to, you'd lower your speed by 3,
so you'd be at 9.
and then it would only be a goal 2.
Want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you only have to roll 6. Whew. 7.
7, good job. So you bash him with your stick, and your stick does 2 points of damage. He has 1 armor, so it does 1 point of damage.
Is this the one that I shot?
Yeah, so one thing that I should have mentioned as well, those speed points, I'm gonna still, so I'll let you have them back this one time, because I forgot to mention that rule. So because you have a light weapon, that counts as an asset, and that lowers the difficulty by 1. So they don't do a lot of damage, but it's easier to hit with them. So you got those speed points back. But in future, if you wanted to use the speed points, it would make it a goal 1, which means you only had to roll a 3 or higher.
Really?
Yep. Okay, so that one has lost not a lot. He's not half his hit points, but he's taken a pretty good bit of abuse.
Also, shouldn't that have happened when I was using my knife on that vine too? 'Cause that would be a light
Yeah. So I figured that into that attack that it would be a little easier. So I actually in my hand I made it easier, but I forgot with Miss Pic to tell her that. So, all right. So we come back to your turn.
Well, the ones that's circling around, I'm gonna yell out to Miss Pic to watch out, and then I'm gonna take a shot at it.
At the one that's circling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's going to be a goal 3 speed to try and hit it.
I got this.
Oh, a 4. So,
got this.
so you holler out at Miss Pic and warn her that there's one circling, and then your shot goes a little bit wide.
But
Now-
did it scare it, maybe?
Probably. It definitely got its attention. Now, I forgot to have you do an attack for David.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't we have David hurry and make an attack?
Maybe he was a little late.
Yeah, so it's going to be a goal 3 for David,
So I have to get
a 9 or higher.
You got this.
Oh, please. A 1? Are you kidding me?
So that's going to be an intrusion, but without the experience points. So David, actually, you want to spend that one
To help out David.
to let him re-roll it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you spend that experience point, and so you can re-roll that attack for David.
I got
10.
A 10, awesome. So David swoops down. How much damage does David do?
How much does he do? Just a second. Is he doing a dive attack? 'Cause
Yes.
that would do 2 damage.
Yep. Then minus the armor, so you did 1 point of damage. So that one has now taken quite a bit of damage.
He's taken
5 total damage. Yep. And so now it comes back to Greg's turn. So Greg did his turn, so now it'll be Tiki.
Oh, okay.
So now that there's one right next to you, Tiki's probably going to attack because he's going to defend you. So make an attack roll for Tiki. It's a goal 3.
Okay, go bite at it. Okay. 14.
14. So Tiki sinks his teeth right into that Argo Raptor.
And also, 3 damage with teeth on well-armored things.
Yep. So excellent. So that did some damage on him. So he's like half damaged.
Who?
The Argosaurus, the Argoraptor. So that raptor's almost halfway down. All right. So then we come back to the Argoraptor's turn. So the Argoraptor.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
We just lost our music here. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
So the Argoraptor's going to come back and try and bite at you again. It's a goal 3 speed defense.
So I have to get a 9?
9 or higher, unless you want to burn some speed points.
Yeah, you could burn them because you were gonna burn them before, but then you got them back, so might as well. So do you want to make that a 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now what do I have to get?
It's a goal 2, so 6 or higher.
Oh, man.
You got this, Miss Pic. It's at 19.
Okay, don't pick it up until it's done
Yeah,
rolling.
you want to let.
So 19 is excellent. In fact, that's also a minor effect. So what I'm going to say happens is not only do you jump out of the way, but you get you sneak right around behind that guy, so you're going to get an easier attack on him on your turn. And so, in fact, it'll lower your attack by 1.
Could the
almost like an
Argoraptor
asset.
stumble? Kind of stumble a little
Yeah.
bit?
In fact, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he stumbled a bit, and it allows you to get into like a real good position to try and bash him with your stick.
How many are they? Are there?
There's
2.
2, 4. In
So the one that was circling around is now kind of approaching you from behind, getting ready to attack.
but there's another 2 in the bushes.
We don't know how many. We are pretty sure there's some on the right, but we don't know how many.
There's 20 of them.
Could be. They hunt in packs. Okay, so what does David do?
Does he swoop down again and try to help Tiki out?
Sure.
All right, so it's a goal 3 attack, so 9 or higher.
Got this.
Please.
Their bellow. 13.
13. So he swoops down, "Caw!" and hits him like right in the face. Probably gets him right in the spot that Greg had blasted already, and he takes a little bit of damage from that.
A little bit.
Okay, so we come back to Greg.
So how, like, that one's taking 6 damage. How close is it to dying?
He's taking a little more than 6. He's about halfway.
Really? They have a lot of health.
They do. Well, it's a dinosaur.
Okay. Gotta think of something good here. I want to try and do a double move. Okay, how far is that raptor away from me, the one I was shooting at? That's by Tiki and David.
Well, you're up in a tree. It's probably a good 40 feet away.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I want to blast it and jump out and kick it.
Yeah, you're up in a tree. Remember, you
That
climbed
probably
up.
hurt me.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe just blast him.
yeah, I'm just gonna blast him again.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and blast.
Is that a might speed or what is that?
It's going to be speed.
How much do I have to roll? 9?
Well, if it's a 3, it'd be a 9.
I'll try. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean for that. I rolled that a little hard.
Okay,
Sorry.
I don't know where,
I
where
got
it
it.
went.
Just a second.
Oh,
It's... Sorry about that. I rolled a little
That's
hard.
okay. Just keep it on the table. You don't roll it towards the edge of the table.
Yeah, how about I roll
There you go.
7?
7. So not quite enough. Not quite enough to get him. It was a good shot, and the shot, maybe because he stumbled a little bit, just goes right over his head. But now what does Tiki do?
Tiki's going to try and take another bite.
Take another bite? Okay, it's a goal 3 to take a bite.
Okay. I'm gonna use the might. Or is that speed?
Well, you don't use yours.
Oh.
So, yeah, he doesn't have that. So it's just a goal 3.
Come on, Tiki. 17.
17. Chomp. Takes a big old bite.
Plus another 3 damage.
Yeah, so he bites into him. He's pretty badly damaged. We'll have to see what
he has a ton of health.
he does. They have more. So normally, so he's a level 3 monster. Normally they would have like the times 3 hit points, 9, but he actually has 15. He's got a little bit more hit points. But this one has taken a little bit of damage because of they've already been in a little bit of a battle recently, and he's not healed up. So he doesn't have a whole lot of health left, but he's going to take a bite at you again. So you're going to make a speed defense, a goal 3 speed defense. So 9 or higher. It's like a 55% chance of success.
Don't let me down. 9.
You needed a 9 or higher. So you got a 9, so you get out of the way just in time. And now the one that's coming up behind you is actually going to run up and attack Tiki. So Tiki needs to make a speed defense and beat a 9.
Okay, so you got this, Tiki. 12.
12. So Tiki gets out of the way, and now you get a chance, Miss Pic, to bash that one with your stick. So you're going to bash him. It's a goal 3 speed.
Bash right in.
Actually, and it'll go down to a 2 because it's a light weapon, so it's a 6 or higher.
Don't let me down, dice.
17.
17. So that actually does 1 extra point of damage on a 17. So normally you do 2, but you do 3 damage. He takes 2, and that's all he had. So you crack him right over the back of the skull, and he slumps down, totally unconscious and bleeding. And you turn, and you've got another one right there on the ground in front of you. Okay, what does David do?
Goes for another swoop, or what does he do?
Sure. Goes for another dive.
All right, so goal 3,
Go there, so 9.
9 or higher.
Please. Please.
16.
16. Awesome. So he swoops down, caw, caw, and pecks him right in the face.
And that's another damage.
Yep, does 1 damage. Okay, so then we come back to Greg.
So is the one I was shooting at dead?
Yes.
Okay, so the other one needs to be killed.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna take a shot at that one then.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a speed, but I have an edge.
So it only costs 2.
Yeah, so I'm at 7. 16.
16. That's a definite hit. So it does 4 damage minus their 1 armor, so he takes 3 points of damage. That's excellent. 1/5 of his hit points right there. And now, how about Tiki?
Tiki is going to try and chomp at the other one.
Okay. It's goal 3.
7.
7. So not quite. So maybe he's still got his teeth sunk into the one that's down and didn't quite turn and just snapped but didn't get a good attack on him. So now that one is going to attack Tiki again. So Tiki needs to do a goal 3.
Got this, Tiki. Sorry. Let me not. Oh, 2.
2. It chomps right into Tiki and does 3 damage. But does Tiki have armor?
Yes.
How many points of armor? 2 armor.
So he takes 1 damage. I think he has, what, 10 hit points?
Yes.
So he goes down to 9.
9. What if he was a full-grown T-Rex? How many hit points would he have then?
Oh, they have a lot. I'd have to look it up, but they
Like
have a
100?
lot. Maybe not that many, but they have a bunch. So, now you hear more rustling, and 2 more come out from the right side. And both of them start to run right towards you. So you hold your stick and you get ready. All right, it is your turn. You've got one that's battling Tiki right now.
I go for the one that's battling.
You gonna bash him? Okay. So because of your light weapon, it's a gold 2, so 6 or higher.
Let me down, dice.
1.
Oh man. So that's a GM intrusion. What happens is when you swing, you miss and hit the ground, and your weapon gets stuck in some mud, and so you're gonna have to try and pull your weapon out of the mud.
Oh boy, this pick.
All right. What does David do?
Swoop down again, or does he
Yeah, sure.
swoop down again?
Okay. So it's goal 3.
You got this. 5.
Oh, so David swoops down and probably seeing your stick in the mud, he kind of veers off to the side and doesn't quite get a good attack going in. So, things are starting to turn a little sour. All right.
Next turn.
So what do we do, Greg?
Well, Greg's gonna try and take another shot at that raptor.
Okay.
So. 7. Ow.
So, had you used some speed points, you would have hit.
No.
But so that was close. All right. What does Tiki do?
Tiki's gonna go over and try and help Bambi pull her stick out of the mud, like bite it and pull
Or
it.
is he going to just engage the Argoraptor that's trying to attack her?
I guess he could do that, but
And actually, he's being attacked by an Argoraptor. He'd probably...
wait, there's 2 of them.
Well, there's 3 now.
Oh, one came out of the.
But remember one just bit him?
Oh yeah. Okay, well then could he do like could he stomp on it?
Yeah, you could try stomping on it.
Okay. That'd be funny.
He does more damage with his teeth. But...
Okay, let's bite then.
Okay.
I just wanted to be funny. 5. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Our rolls are
Yeah, the dice have gone cold. So he bites and snaps and nothing happens. And now we come to the Argoraptor's turn. So the one's going to bite at Tiki. So Tiki needs to make a speed defense. 3 or higher. Or 9 or higher. And you roll for Tiki.
4. Seriously.
Chomp. And he takes 1 more point of damage. Uh-oh. Better figure something out here. And then the 2 other ones both rush up at Bambi and both attack Bambi. So you need to make 2 defense rolls. 2 speed defense rolls.
I think our music's about to end again.
Maybe. So you need to make 2 speed defense rolls.
2.
Yes, you need to roll twice. You need to get a 9 or higher unless you want to spend some effort.
Probably not gonna get it.
Effort?
Yes.
Is that on speed? So that's going to be a 7.
So that'll reduce one of your defenses to a 2. So the first one you need to get a 6 or higher. Second one a 9 or higher.
4.
Okay, now do the second one.
17.
Okay, so you block the second one, but the first one gets through. Chomps you for 3 points of damage. Do you have armor?
Where would it say that? Would that be an equipment? But we don't start off with armor, remember?
That's right. So yeah, you don't have armor, so you're going to take 3 points out of your might.
You're at 6 might.
So I didn't.
No, just write it in the box.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and now it's your turn.
I'm gonna try to pull my stick out of the mud.
Okay, so you pull your stick out, and what are you going to do?
I'm gonna try to hit one of them.
Okay, so that's a speed attack, a 9 or higher.
7.
Oh, not quite. Okay, but what does David do?
then I guess he swoops down again.
Okay, so do an attack roll. 9 or higher.
3. Man, these dice. So he got a 3.
You know, hang on. You know what? On your attack, you rolled a 7, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to remind me that you have a light weapon, so you only needed a 6 or higher. So you actually hit. So you hit that dino for 1 point. So I'll take that point off. But try to remember that you get to reduce it down to a 2.
Miss Pic has hit a couple of times then.
Well, she's got to remind me of that. You have to be the one that knows what your character's abilities are and what you can do, okay? So try to remember that because you have a light weapon, you reduce it to a 2. Okay?
Greg's gonna shoot again.
Okay.
So. 17.
17, that's a hit. So you blast him for 4 damage. He takes 3. That one's about half beat up. He's pretty close. Then what does Tiki do?
He's gonna do another chomp chomp.
Okay, chomp chomp. 9 or higher.
At the one I just shot?
Yep.
Okay. 13.
13. He chomps. One good hit will probably take out that Argoraptor. Alright, but it's their turn. So one's going to attack Tiki. So Tiki has to make a speed defense.
17.
17. So he gets out of the way. So now things are starting to turn around. But 2 of them are attacking you, Bambi. So it's a speed defense, 9 or higher. Got to make 2 rolls.
You got this Tiki. They're not Tiki, Bambi.
1.
Uh-oh. Okay, roll another one and then
Now you
we'll
feel my
resolve that
pain.
one.
13.
So you block the second one, but the first one, not only does he hit you, but something bad happens.
Of course,
So-
everything bad.
So you're going to take
happens
3 might damage. So you go from a 6 to a 3.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. You can. There's ways you can get points back. And he knocks you down. So you fall down and you land on your bum in the swampy mud.
Oh,
And you know that you don't want to stay down because they'll pounce on you and get you. So you know that on your turn you got to get back up. Okay? All right. So now we go to your turn.
I get up
Okay.
and try to hit one with my stick.
Okay. Go ahead and bash him. So normally it's a goal 3, but
I have a light weapon.
so it's a goal 2. So 6 or higher.
8.
So does that hit?
Yes.
It sure does. So you crack him for 1 point of damage. Oh, he's so close. If David hits him, it'll probably take him out.
Okay, then I guess he's gonna swoop at him.
All right, 9 or higher.
15.
He swoops down and hits him right in the head, and that Argoraptor falls on its back and just lays there twitching. And he's out of the fight. So there's 2 left. All right, so we
Where'd the
go,
other one come from? He just barely came out of the bushes because we've killed 2.
and there's 2 left. Yeah,
Okay.
just remember 2 more came out and have been attacking Miss Pic.
Okay, I just like, these are appearing out of nowhere.
So there's 2 more. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna shoot at the one attacking Tiki.
Okay.
18.
So that hits and does 2 extra points of damage.
Oh, nice. So that did 5 damage.
No, normally you do 4, so it does 6 minus his 1 armor. So yeah, it does do 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So that's 1/3 of his hit points. That was an awesome shot. In fact, you hit him like right in the ribs, and it opens up a little hole in his hide, and you can see kind of blood dripping out of that hole in his ribs. All right. So now let's see if Tiki goes for that wound and bites him there.
Yeah, Tiki will go for the wound.
Okay. Well, goal 3.
3.
Ooh, so he snaps but misses. But he does kind of position himself so he's helping to defend you a little bit. So now it's their turn. So the one that just got bit will attack Tiki. So Tiki has to do a defense, 9 or higher.
15.
Awesome. So he gets out of the way. And now one is going to go after you. So speed defense. Do you want to burn some speed points?
Okay.
So,
What's your speed right now?
7.
So it'll go down to 4.
Bum, bum, bum.
And then you got to roll a 6 or higher.
So it goes down to 4.
Yep. Now can you roll a 6 or higher?
You got this, Miss Pickle.
You can do it. Think it's going to be a high number, and it will be.
This is a 1. 13.
13, that's enough. So you get out of the way. All right, that was a close one. And now it is your turn.
I
You know-
try to bash him.
You can take that stick and shove it in that hole and And that would probably hurt him quite a bit.
Yeah.
And do that. Can thrust that stick right into that wound. Okay. So normally that's a goal 3.
But since I have a light weapon...
There we go. Because it was a light weapon, you jab him right in that spot and he howls in pain and he takes some damage. Okay, so now it is David's turn. What does David do?
Want to swoop down to that guy and bite his wound?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a goal 3.
9 or higher.
Yep.
13.
13. See, now you guys are rolling. So he swoops down, sticks his beak right into that hole, and that Argoraptor just cries out in pain. And it comes back to Greg. Can Greg finish him off?
Yeah, Greg's going to take another shot at him.
Okay, goal 3. A 4. Darn it. Not quite. But can Tiki do it?
Tiki, you got this, buddy.
9 or higher.
16.
Tiki chomps him, and that dino just crumples under the pain and falls down, and Tiki takes a few more bites out of him. So there's 1 left. Alright, it is his turn, and he's going to attack you. So that's a speed defense. Do you want to burn more speed points?
Oh, you're at 1.
You're at 1 speed.
I like these background sounds.
Yeah. Okay, 6 or higher.
You got this.
But I have a light weapon.
Well, no, you're defending.
Oh,
Okay.
still 6.
You'll be attacking in just a minute.
6.
Ooh, it's a good thing you used effort, huh? So you get out of the way, and now you can bash him with your stick.
So
what
I
you're gonna do?
bash him right in.
So normally you need a 9, but
But since I have a light weapon,
you need a 6.
14.
14. So you bash him, and he takes a point of damage. Okay, so now it goes to
Greg.
Tiki or David's turn.
Oh, yeah.
So David swoops down. Okay, so a 9 or higher. 13. And he goes in and pecks him for some damage. Now it's Greg's turn with his
I'm gonna
laser
shoot him.
crossbow.
14.
14, that hits. So you guys are just piling up the damage now, and now it's Tiki's turn.
Tiki. 13.
He hits and bites. This thing's going to go down pretty quick, but he's going to take one last chomp at you. Alright. Speed defense, goal 3. You can't burn speed points, you're just going to have to take it.
I should have got a pet baby Indominus Rex so I'd have my Cypher and I could full grow it.
Yeah, or a mosasaur or something.
Yeah.
Like on What About Bobby, be in a little jar on your neck like Gil.
oh yeah.
Little baby mosasaur.
Touch him and he'd go break the jar.
Alright, so make a defense 9 or higher.
Okay.
6.
6. So you're going to lose 3 might points.
Oh no, you're in your speed.
Okay, so, and now that you're at 0 in your might, let me see your character sheet. At the bottom, down here, there is the damage track. So now you are impaired, and this will say what impaired does. So now it takes 1 extra effort to, so it'll cost you 4 points if you want to spend effort. You ignore minor and major effects on your rolls, and you don't do any extra damage on an 18, 19, or 20, just a +1.
This dice
But,
takes
well, what's nice is you can rest pretty easily. Your first rest takes 1 action. You can do it on your turn. And you'll roll the 6-sided dice plus your tier, which is 1, and you gain back that many points, and you can put them into your might or your speed or wherever you want them. Okay? So it's your turn. Do you want to make a recovery roll, or do you want to try and clobber him?
Try clever.
Okay, so normally it's a 9, but it's going to be a 6. So can you get a 6 or higher?
Yeah.
Oh, almost. Okay.
Dice hits.
How about David? What can David do?
Soup. Adam.
Swoop? Okay, 9 or
Yes.
higher.
9.
9. So David gets him. Can Greg finish him off?
Shoot at him. 14.
14. That blasts, and the Argoraptor falls down. And now I would recommend doing a recovery roll.
Okay.
So roll the 6-sided dice, and you're going to add 1 to it.
So add 1 to 1.
No, roll the dice and add 1.
2.
So you regain 3 points. You can put them in whatever pools you want, but you can't go over your maximum. So you could put them all in might if you wanted.
So you have 3 might.
3 might
And I
instead of
wouldn't
0.
recommend spending any more might.
Yeah, so now you're not impaired anymore. You're back to normal. So that rest cost 1 action. Your next rest takes 10 minutes. But we're out of a battle now, so it's a little bit safer, so we can probably rest. But we got somebody up in a tree. And as the last Argoraptor falls down, he cries out and says, "Oh, I thought you were a goner. Thank you so much for coming in here. I can finally climb down." And he starts to climb down, and it's an old guy, and you see he's got a little leather cap on and a lens over his eye. It's Marcos.
I'm going to say, what happened to your dinosaurs?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that my beloved trike has been slain. He tried to come into the swamp. I jumped off and went to climb up a tree, and my beloved animals followed me, and they tore him to shreds, and he broke off of the wagon, but the wagon fell into the swamp, and some of my dinos, I'm sure, have drowned in the swamp, but a few of the cages were opened up, and they're out here in the jungle somewhere. Now that I'm down and it's safe, I will call them and see if I can bring in some of my dinos. So you guys set up a little camp, and this would be about 10 minutes worth of time, so if you want to do another recovery roll.
Yeah.
So roll the dice and add 1.
Real quick, just to start it now, I'm going to use one of my ciphers and touch Tiki so he can grow to full size within 24 hours.
Or for 24 hours?
No. So he'll grow to full size within 24 hours, Tiki. To a full-size T-Rex within 24 hours.
But then does it wear off?
No.
We'll have to look, because we're actually almost at the end of the adventure.
Okay.
So maybe we'll hold off on that one. So what did you roll?
3.
Plus 1 is 4, so you can add 4 points to any of your pools. You can put some in speed, or you can put them all in might. You just can't go above your maximums.
So,
And if you want to do a recovery, you could as well.
Okay, I'll do my first one. So that just takes an action.
Yeah.
So,
Roll
6.
6-sided. And add 1.
4, so 5.
So you regain 5 points.
So my might's already full.
But your speed is taking a hit.
Yeah, so let's see. If I add 5 to that, I'll be full, actually.
Perfect. There you go.
So yeah, I just need to get my intellect back up, because it's 11, but it's at 8 right now.
Yeah. So he calls out, and a few of his little dinos, some are like little bird-like creatures. A few of them are little ground animals. They come running, and they all crowd around him, and he picks them up, and he's holding them, and says, "I cannot thank you enough for saving me. I've lost so much of my stock, and I've lost all of my possessions, but at least I'm alive, and I have a few of these, my companions. Let us quickly make for Bonehaven, so that I can get them the care that they need, and hopefully I can earn some money at this dino wrestling to pay off the cost it would be to get a new wagon and everything. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough."
I have a
I'll tell
question.
him I'll help him out if he needs any help, like getting back in business.
Well, he would probably appreciate that. What's your question?
Since he tried to wrestle those, defeat them, that he failed, does that still count as dino wrestling?
Well, they were dino fighting, not just wrestling. So, well, you make it back to Bonehaven, and Arturus is so happy to see Marcus, and so happy that you guys were able to find him. And she says, besides what I've been able to do for you as far as the season pass, allow me to give you some coinage. And she gives you each 20 nautils, and nautils are like dollars. So down on your character sheet, it should have like your money, and you'll have 20.
Is it this? No, that's Cypher's.
It's down on your equipment, right there. Oh, right where your pencil is. It says nautils.
Oh, so 20 of them?
Yep, you'll have 20. And you guys have saved the day. You've saved Marcus, and you've saved some of his dinos, and you've gotten a little experience. So because you were able to defeat the dinosaurs and save Marcus, I'm going to give you each 2 experience points.
Now I don't have to level up, but we can use them, can't we?
Yep, so you can use them in the next adventure, or you can save them towards leveling up. So if you have a spot for experience points, put a 2 right there.
2?
2.
I almost would have had enough because I had that one, but I wanted to let David reroll.
Yep. And so that is the end of the adventure. Did you guys have a great time?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
All right, well, we'll have to continue another time. Thank you so much for watching Family Game Night. Family that games together stays together. Bye-bye.
Bye.